Where are you from? Seems like a simple question, right? We can just answer with the question with the answer that the place that we currently live in, like Yogyakarta, for example, or Jakarta, or Kuala Lumpur, or maybe Singapore. But then this question gets a little bit complicated to those who grew up and spend most of their life outside the country of their nationality. Well, simply because their parents are expatriates, or maybe their parents are diplomats, they're more exposed to a different culture other than their nationality's culture. So I would like to welcome, if you get confused with this question, or someone that keep on doing some storytelling stuff when they get asked about where are you from, I would like to welcome you all to the world of third culture kid. So what is exactly a third culture kid? What makes them so special? And what differs them from other kids? So a third culture kid, or also known as TCK, is a person who has spent a significant part of their life developmental years outside the parents' culture, as what I've mentioned before. The TCK frequently builds relationship to all of the cultures in this world without having the full ownership or without having to belong to that specific culture. So I would like to say my story to all of you guys. I start with my parents' culture. So yeah, both of my parents are from Yogyakarta, so they're exposed. They know a lot of Yogyakarta culture, simply because they were born there and they spent most of their life there. And then they got married. After they got married, they decided to migrate to Jakarta, a city where almost all Indonesians from Sabang until Merauke, Miangas until Rote Island, put their hopes and dreams there. So then they're exposed to Jakarta culture, and therefore I was born. So I was exposed to both Jakarta and Yogyakarta culture. Am I from Jakarta? Am I from Yogyakarta? That's where things get a little bit complicated for myself, especially, simply because I was exposed to both culture. But then things actually get a little bit more complicated. I was exposed to a different culture. So yeah, I was exposed to, let's say, a Sunda culture, simply because my neighbor was Sundanese, and Jakarta is located very near to West Java, where the Sundanese culture actually from. Therefore, I was also exposed to Padang culture, simply because there were many Padang restaurants in my neighborhood back then. Then, growing up as a kid in Jakarta, going to schools at every 5 a.m., watching Doraemon, Shinchan every Sunday morning, life could have been better, right? And then things slightly began to change when I was 11 years old, or my parents decided to move to a small, tiny country that's located just right in the heart of the Arab Gulf. The place that almost nobody knows. At that time, I was really confused why my parents decided to move to that country. The only thing that I know about the country was just desert, hot, summer, all year long. Nothing more. Nothing special about that country. That's what I would say to my parents. So then, yes, I still have my Yogyakarta culture, but then my house culture changed. From Jakarta, culture actually get more and more complicated. Simply because my parents put me in an international school where we use a British curriculum. So there, since I was administered to international school, I wasn't only exposed to British culture, I was also exposed to an Indian and Pakistani culture. Yes, because there were a lot of Indian and Pakistani in my school. Then I was also exposed to Turkish culture in Qatar, simply because there were many and many Turkish restaurants there. So during my teenager life or youth life, I would like to mention that I was exposed to many different cultures, and things get a little bit way complicated. Whenever I return to Indonesia, or as I just meet new people, in university, first semester or the first day of course with the new lecturer, whenever people ask, "Where are you from?" I couldn't answer simply because I don't know where I'm actually from. And then I began to question myself. Am I from Yogyakarta? Simply because my parents were born and grew up there? Or am I from Jakarta? Just because I was born and grew up there? Or am I from Qatar? Just because I spent my and teenage life there? There are many, many third culture kids out there who are struggling to find their identity. There are many popular third culture individuals out there. For example, Barack Obama. One of the most popular American president out there. Well, yes, he holds American passport. He lives in America. But wait, have you ever watched this video before?
Remember the call of the vendors? Sate? Yeah. I remember that. Basu? Enak, yeah?
How come an American president could relate that much to an Indonesian culture? He doesn't even hold Indonesian passport. Or maybe for some of us Indonesians seems that sate and baso are just like common things, But for him, it's special. Simply, it's memorable. The next, we have Freddie Mercury, where yes, he was popular in the UK, he was popular in England, but he was actually born in Zanzibar. And then, growing up as a kid, his parents put him to a boarding school in India. So then, is he actually from India? But wait, hold on. Actually, he was born to a Farsi/Indian parents. So wait a second. Is he Indian? Or is he Farsi? Or is he Zanzibarian? Or is he British? And last, Kobe Bryant. I'd like to say to you guys that, yes, he's a popular basketball player in the US, but where does he actually possess that basketball skills? Did he learn the basketball skills back in the States? The answer is no. He actually learned how to play basketball since he was living in Italy back during his teenage or youth life. So these are just the three of many popular third culture individuals out there that, yes, they may belong to one specific culture, like Barack Obama. Yes, he's American. He used to be a president of America, but he somehow relates to Indonesian culture simply because he used to live in Indonesia for a couple of years during his childhood. Their homes are not defined by one particular point on a map, but by memories, events, people, and places that span the globe. So for third culture kid, yes, they may not feel belong to one specific place in the map, but then they do feel belongs to anywhere in the map, simply because they create memories. They went to very popular events in that specific country. And last things last, it's not about where are you from. It's more about where are you heading to next. Thank you, everyone.